We are the Hebrew Israelites.
Okay.
We are. We're definitely Hebrew Israelites. But it was other things that went along with the curses that was put on our people in Deuteronomy 28 chapter. And then once you begin to see these things, you begin to understand why our people walk around in darkness as far as religious doctrine is concerned.
Shabbat Shalom. Our scripture reading for today is Psalms chapter 19, verses 130, 133, and 134. The entrance of your words giveth light. It giveth understanding unto the simple. Order my steps in your word, and let not any lawlessness have dominion over me. Deliver me from the oppression of man, so will I keep your precepts.
Shabbat Shalom, family. Our selection today, Order My Steps.
The oracles of the UCI, 1 Peter chapter 4, verses 7 through 11. But the end of all things is at hand. Be you therefore sober, and watch unto prayer. And above all things have fervent love among yourselves. The love shall cover the multitude of sins. Use hospitality one to another without grudging. As every man has received the gift, even so minister the same one to another as good stewards of the manifold grace of Elohim. If any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of Elohim. If any man minister, let him do it as of the ability which Elohim gives, that Elohim in all things may be glorified through Yahshua the Mashiach, to whom be praise and dominion forever and ever. Amen. Ephesians chapter 4, verses 29 through chapter 5 and verse 4. Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers. And grieve not the Holy Spirit of Elohim, whereby you are sealed until the day of redemption. Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice. And be you kind one to another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as Elohim for Yahshua's sake has forgiven you. Be you therefore followers of Elohim, as their children, and walk in love, as the Mashiach also have loved us, and has given himself for us an offering and sacrifice to Elohim for a sweet-smelling savor. But fornication, and all uncleanness, or covetousness, let it not be once named among you as becomes saints. Neither filthiness, nor foolish talking, nor jesting, which are not convenient, but rather given of thanks. Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verses 1 and 2. Keep your foot when you go to the house of Elohim, and be more ready to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools, for they consider not that they do evil. Be not rash with your mouth, and let not your heart be hasty to utter anything before Elohim. For Elohim is in heaven, and you up on earth. Therefore, let your words be few. Exodus chapter 23, verses 20 and 21. Behold, I send an angel before you to keep you in the way, and to bring you into the place which I have prepared. Beware of him, and obey his voice. Provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgressions, for my name is in him. Revelations chapter 3, verses 20 through 22. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him and will sup with him, and he with me. To him that overcomes will I grant to sit with me in my throne, even as I have also overcame, and am sat down with my Father in his throne. He that has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says unto the churches.
All right, Shabbat Shalom,
Shabbat Shalom.
which is peace on Yahweh's Holy Sabbath Day. Welcome to another holy convocation that Yahweh has enjoined unto us here in this body of Yahshua. Now, Matthew 21 and verse 28 says, But what think you? A certain man had 2 sons, and he came to the first and said, Son, go work today in my vineyard. He answered and said, I will not. But afterward he repented and went. And he came to the second and said likewise. And he answered and said, I go, sir, and went not. Whether of them twain did the will of his father? They say unto him, the first. Yahshua said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that the publicans and the harlots go into the kingdom of Elohim before you. We have to sometimes meditate on this statement by Yahshua, and really examine what he is dealing with. In the beginning, there are 2 sons, and he came to the first. He said, go work today in my vineyard. He answered and said, I will not. Right off the rip, this is a disobedient son. This is one that appears disrespectful. But then this son repents, and he goes to work. The other son is a son that appears to be peaceful. He appears to be someone that is acceptable in the sight of other people. He answers and says, I'll go, sir. But he didn't do anything his daddy told him to do. Now, if you watch the 2 of these sons, the one that you're going to accept is the one who said, I'll go, sir. because he appears as if he's nice. But when you examine his works, he doesn't have any. He didn't do anything that he said, but he had nice things to say. So he appeared acceptable. So Yeshua is making sure that their eyes and hearts are trained. Which one did the will of his Father? Not the one who appeared as if he was obedient. Not the one who appeared as if he was nice. No. The one who people would say, oh, he's brash. Oh, he's disrespectful. He just looked right there in his Father's face and said no. You know the one thing that's respectable about the first guy? He told the truth. He didn't want to go. And he was honest. And he didn't want to go. So you have to learn to look at men the way Yahweh look at men. Yahweh already sees the value in son number one. Why? Because he was honest about his feelings. That is worth more than the price of silver and gold. It's not that someone has to agree with you all the time, but the honesty to be able to stand there in the face of power and say, I don't want to go. That is priceless. So automatically, before we even begin, you need to understand that Yahweh looks at men completely different. And if you don't understand this, everything that comes after this, you might as well go ahead and take a nap. We'll wake you when we're done. Let's begin today's sermon in John chapter 15, verses 1 through 17.
I am the true vine, and my Father is the husbandman. Every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he takes away. And every branch that bears fruit, he purges it, that it may bring forth more fruit.
All right off the rip, he's dealing with something. Every branch in me that bears not fruit, he takes it away. If it does not profit him, it has no business being there. He has no use of it. He doesn't care how nice it speaks. He doesn't care how polite it is, how much it hugs people, how affectionately it says shalom. It is not profitable. It does not bear any fruit. Therefore, it is taking up space. He takes it away. And the interesting thing, when Yahweh takes something away, it thinks that it's taking itself away. Go ahead.
Now you are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you. Abide in me, and I in you. As the branch cannot bear fruit of itself, except it abide in the vine. No more can you, except you abide in me.
And this is one of the problems that you have. People will do their own thing and believe that they can produce fruit of themselves and count it unto Yahweh. He says, if it doesn't abide in me, it's not my fruit. Then you are producing fruit for yourselves. Go ahead.
I am the vine, you are the branches. He that abides in me, and I in him, the same brings forth much fruit, for without me, you can do nothing.
Right. This is why you have situations where people believe that they can labor at their own house and then say that they have labored in the master's vineyard. Now, that's your vineyard. You need to know the difference between your vineyard and his vineyard. Go ahead.
If a man abide not in me, he is cast forth as a branch and is withered. And men gather them and cast them into the fire, and they are burnt.
What happened? What happened? If a man abide not in me, he is cast forth as a branch. What? The branches that don't have resources going to them, they eventually dry up. When they dry up, they are fit for the fire. See, if you just go and cut a branch right now and it still had resources going to it, when you try to burn it, it ain't going to burn right. But if you get something, a piece of a branch that's been dried up, it has not had any resources flowing through it. Oh, it's perfect for starting a fire. It is dry wood. It is going to feed the fire. The fire is going to grow because of the dryness of the branch. The branch that doesn't do any work, has no resources going to it, it is fit for the fire. Yahweh says, in the end, there should be a lake of fire. What is being burned? The branches that dried up and had no resources going to it. The fire craves dried up branches. Go ahead.
You know, Elder, throughout this whole thing, Yahshua has always said, I've come to do the will of my Father, not my own, right?
So he working there.
Right, and we talking about being part of the vine. So he lets you know he's part of that vine because he's referred to what? As the branch. So he ain't on his own.
No, he is not on his own path. He is not doing his own thing. He is following instructions. This is why when they said, grant me my 2 sons to sit on your left and right, he said, that's not mine to give you. I know it may look like I'm in charge, but you're going to have to speak to your boss's boss for that one. So I may look like the boss, but the boss got a boss. And I can't tell you, I can't give you something that's not mine to give. That's the part that we miss. We think that he just came to the earth and said all these loving things, that he was just so nice. No, he had a job and he performed his job. How you going to be a part in him, but you don't work in him? We just offer some nice words. As it is written, many are going to say, didn't we do all these great works in your name? Haven't we cast out devils? He said, get away from me, you worker of lawlessness. I never knew you. Not I knew you at some time and then we broke off. No, I never knew you. Why? Because he know the spirit that they walked in the door with at day one. See, it takes us a while to see something, for Yahweh to reveal something. Yahweh knew it when they came day one. Yahweh knew already what was in their heart. Go ahead.
If you abide in me, and my words abide in you, you shall ask what you will, and it shall be done unto you. Herein is my Father glorified, that you bear much fruit, so shall you be my disciples. As the Father has loved me, so have I loved you. Continue you in my love. If you keep my commandments, you shall abide in my love, even as I have kept my Father's commandments and abide in his love.
Wait a minute. He's not hypocritical. He didn't ask you to do something that he's not going to do. I'm going to obey my Father and you have to obey me. There's an order. Our biggest problem is we don't like order. We want to deal with what we think, feel, and believe and bypass the order. Yet everything has order. Colleges have order. Jobs have order. Gangs have order. Go ahead.
These things have I spoken unto you, that my joy might remain in you, and that your joy might be full. This is my commandment, that you love one another, as I have loved you. Greater love has no man than this, that a man lie down his life for his friends.
Right. Now, wait a minute. When you try to save one of your friends, now we're talking about the labor. A person is absent from the vineyard for a while, and then a brother or sister go and say, well, friend, where you been? And then the friend lash out. Wait a minute. We was just asking because we missed you. But they feel some type of way because they know what they've been off into. So then they lash out at the friend who's asking, where you been? Next thing you know, they accuse you of being Lucifer. Wait a minute. I just asked you where you been, friend. But they know why they were absent. So they attack the individual who asked them. Go ahead.
You are my friends, if you do whatsoever I command you. Henceforth, I call you not servants, For the servant knows not what his master does. But I have called you friends. For all things that I have heard of my Father, I have made known unto you. You have not chosen me, but I have chosen you.
Right. This has to be said. You have not chosen me. You'll get those individuals that say, basically I understood everything about the word. I just didn't have the name. All I needed was the name. And I appreciate coming here and learning the name. Thank you for that. Now I got everything now. Thanks. These are the individuals that believe they chose him. They don't know that they display that kind of arrogance. So he actually has to say, you ain't choose me. I love it when people say, back when I found God. So where was he lost at? Where did you find him? Was he on the side of the highway? He had his thumb out and he needed a ride and you picked him up. Huh? You found him. So he was the one lost and not you? He was lost. You found him. That's interesting. He didn't find you. You found him. We don't even know that certain statements are arrogant. Go ahead.
You have not chosen me, but I have chosen you and ordained you that you should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain. That whatsoever, you shall ask of the Father in my name, he may give it you.
And you have people that believe that they have this power, yet they have no work. Wait a minute. It doesn't take an intelligent person to understand that you don't get a check if you don't go to the job. How do you demand the payment of a job that you didn't show up at? They want the end result, but they didn't show up in the vineyard. Or they did some minuscule task in the vineyard. You got people in the vineyard digging ditches and somebody else want to pass out fans. What you doing?
Well, I figure everybody going to be hot out here, so I'll pass out the fans.
Oh, yeah? That what you going to do? You going to pass out the fan? Oh, okay. Go ahead.
These things I command you, that you love one another.
All right. Brother, I want you to read, go to the next graphic and read Matthew 3 and verse 10 for me.
And now also the axe is laid on to the root of the trees. Therefore every tree which brings not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire.
He's telling you exactly what he is about. Yet everybody thinks that they can come, say a lot of nice words, and Yahweh is going to accept them. How more plain can he be? If it is not fruitful, it must serve a purpose. The tree is going to serve the purpose of providing fruit, or it shall provide fuel for the fire. See, the fire we can get warm at. The fire we can use for power for some other work. See, we need the fire to melt metal. We need the fire to do other things. You're going to serve one purpose or another. You're going to provide fruit, or you're going to be fuel for the fire. You choose. Let's go to Luke chapter 13. You don't have to think about any of those things when Sunday morning tells you that you're going to go to heaven. None of the labor part comes into that. If your end result is heaven. See, this is how the niceties are leading you straight to the lake of fire. Because you never even discuss labor when your destination is believed to be heaven. Go ahead, brother.
Luke chapter 13 and verse 6. He spake also this parable. A certain man had a fig tree planted in his vineyard. And he came and sought fruit thereon, and found none. Then said he unto the dresser of his vineyard, Behold, these 3 years I come seeking fruit of this fig tree, and find none. Cut it down. Why cumbereth it the ground?
All right, now I ask you a question. How long you been in the Word? How long you been in the Word? He says, behold, these 3 years I came seeking fruit on this fig tree and find none. Cut it down. I ask a question. How long have you been in the Word? Go ahead, Bruce.
And he answering said unto him, Master, let it alone this year also.
Wait a minute. Now there's a proclamation made. Have some mercy on it. I know it is past the point of production. It's past its 3 years. When they went into the land, he gave them 3 years before they needed to produce the tithe. That's why it says the 3rd year, which is the year of tithing. No. I'm going to get you a second. Get your stuff together. All right, now I'm going to hold you accountable. Wait a minute. We are past the point of accountability, and it is proclaimed. Wait a minute. Get one more year. Okay. Go ahead.
Let it alone this year also, till I shall dig about it and dung it.
Now, I'm going to do something to it. I'm going to dig about it, and I'm going to dung it. Dung is fertilizer. It says I'm going to dig a hole around it, and I'm going to put caca all around it. It's going to smell horrible. But I do this to hope that it might produce fruit. But you know what happened? We in our last part, we spend the whole year complaining about the smell.
Oh, that smells. Caca.
You don't realize you're at your last stop. You already passed the point of not producing. You at your last stop before he's done with you. But instead of realizing that you are at your last stop to produce fruit, you spend the whole time complaining about the smell. The smell is for you, to help you produce. We don't like that something been dug about around us. What is this? The hopes that you might produce. Because if the masters show back up at the end of this year and you have not produced, you are being cut down. Go ahead, preacher.
Sometimes we don't want our stink to smell. But the stink smelling, other people can say, hey, you need help.
Yeah. That's what Yahweh do to draw something out. We got medicine to help you deal with fever. Your body is saying, look, I'm trying to throw something out of it. You got a fever for a reason. I'm trying to push something out. So then we say, well, give me something to cover up the fact that my body has something that it's trying to get rid of. We never tried to figure out what was it trying to get rid of. I just want to be made better from the situation. I don't want to know what it was trying to get rid of. That means whatever that was, it's still floating around in there. Okay. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 9. And if it bear fruit, well, and if not, then after that, you shall cut it down.
Right. Somebody else spoke up for this tree. See, this is where we have to learn that we can't be an island all out there alone by ourselves. He didn't listen to the unfruitful tree. The unfruitful tree can't speak for itself. When you get to that point, somebody has to speak for you. And if you have alienated yourself from everybody, if you believe that you are on an island, if you believe that you was already righteous when you came through the door, nobody is left to speak for you. Then you don't get the extra year. You are getting cut down at the 3rd. You only get the extra year when somebody speaks for you. Now, who is that going to be? Jump to verse 22, brother.
And he went through the cities and villages, teaching and journeying toward Jerusalem. Then said one unto him, Adonai, are there few that be saved? And he said unto them, strive to enter in at the straight gate. For many, I say unto you, will seek to enter in, and shall not be able.
Well, what about all these people? Why all these people are going to try to enter, but they're not going to be able? But they feel good in their hearts. They've been peaceful unto men. But when we say things like, order my steps, does that mean order my steps in a way that is pleasing unto me, or order my steps in a way that is pleasing unto you, the Father? What happens when he orders the steps and you ain't pleased with them? Do you have the right to not walk them? What happens if the steps that are ordered don't please your family? Do they have the right to not walk them with you? Yahweh told Abram, go to a place which I shall tell you of. You ever tried to move a woman and tell her we finna move and tell her I'll tell you when we get there? Tell me how that work out for you. You think he had peace in his house when he said, we moving, baby? I don't know where we moving to. But let me help you pack your stuff. Now, you're living in a fairy tale world if you think that's what happened. One of my steps is wonderful in sound, in application. It's going to shake the very core of everything you standing on. Go ahead, Bree.
When once the master of the house has risen up and has shut to the door, and you begin to stand without and to knock at the door, saying, Adonai, Adonai, open unto us. And he shall answer and say unto you, I know you not.
I don't know you. I don't know you. How are these people getting all the way to this point? And he says, I don't know you. Wait a minute. He says, he that believes and is baptized shall be saved. How many people standing waiting on their mama baptism? How many people standing waiting on their daddy baptism? So when he said, who are you? Well, remember, I don't know if you know, but my daddy got baptized in 76. What the hell I got to do with you? I don't know you. You was never born. Wait a minute. We get born in the water. It says you're a 22-year-old fetus. Why were you never born? Because I was counting on their baptism. Oh, okay. Go ahead, Rick.
Then shall you begin to say, we have eaten and drunk in your presence.
Now, we've been around you. So you got the people who are in the word versus the people who are around the word. All right, go ahead.
And you have taught in our streets.
But
he shall say, I tell you, I know you not whence you are.
Right now, but we've been around you. We seen you. You was with them. You remember? You remember, right? What is the difference? It ain't real until a covenant is made. You want to know where your covenant at. So this is why we don't understand certain things that Yahweh does. He wants to know, where is the covenant that's connected? Anybody can say, you know what, I'm going to show up every Tuesday. And then, you know what, one Tuesday, I just didn't feel good this Tuesday. But you know what? There was no covenant, so they still feel justified in not showing up that Tuesday. But when the individual say, you know what, I'm going to show up for this job, and I'm going to do that every Tuesday. Now, if they don't get to show up on that Tuesday, they calling somebody and saying, look, what happened? That's the difference when you got a covenant. You can show up 10 years straight, still ain't pleasing to Yahweh. Why? Because you ain't entered into no covenant. You're still just hanging out. He's a covenant Elohim. So when he makes covenants to keep things together, people get a little shook up because they don't understand how he works. So he want to know, you're going to be right there. And I can count on you being right there. Why? Because you They've now entered into a covenant that's going to keep you right there. Go ahead.
Depart from me, all you workers of lawlessness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth when you shall see Abraham and Esaac and Jacob and all the prophets in the kingdom of Elohim, and you yourself thrust out. And they shall come from the east and from the west and from the north and from the south, and shall sit down in the kingdom of Elohim. And behold, there are last which shall be first, and there are first which shall be last.
Right. So things are not going to happen the way we think they are going to happen. Let's go to Luke chapter 9. So you have people talking about Christ and how much they love him. They love him until you start reading what he said. They love the idea of him. So you got to understand the difference between somebody who loves you and love the idea of you. They love the idea of him. But when he starts talking, when he starts operating, you're going to find that 90% of them people don't even like him, much less love him. Luke chapter 9, let's start at verse 57.
And it came to pass that as they went in the way, a certain man said unto him, Adonai, I'll follow you wheresoever you go.
Uh-huh.
And Yahshua said unto him, Foxes have holes, and birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man has not where to lay his head.
Uh-huh.
And he said unto another, Follow me. But he said, Adonai, suffer me first to go and bury my father.
Right. He already has a problem because he has personal things that he places over the job. See, the first thing that you are going to have to answer when you go to an interview, they want to know, how flexible are you going to be when it comes to the needs of the company? See, it may come to an emergency and the company needs somebody outside the normal hours. Will you be available? He said, well, you know what? Now I want to go home every day at the same time, and I want to hug my family, and I want to eat dinner at the same time. I want to eat breakfast at the same time, and I want to play with my dog at the same time. And depending on what kind of job that is, these people, they had to say, well, you know what? I don't think you're the candidate for us. So if you tell my father, you know what? I want to start eating every day at the same time. I want to have lunch at the same time. I want to have dinner at the same time. I want to go to bed at the same time. Then he going to tell you, I don't think you're the one. I don't think you're what we're looking for. We'll keep your resume. Go ahead, Brent.
Yahshua said unto him, Let the dead bury their dead, but go you and preach the kingdom of Elohim.
Now, some people will say that's incredibly harsh. See, those are the people who love the idea of him, but they don't really love him. Because he's automatically saying this business is over everything. And you have other people that'll be sitting there.
Look how he just neglected his family. You see that? Do you see that?
Go ahead.
Another also said, Adonai, I'll follow you, but let me first go bid them farewell, which are at home at my house.
Uh-huh.
Yahshua said unto him, No man having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of Elohim.
This ain't no place for you. Whatever that excuse you believe you have to walk away from the plow, it makes you unfit for the kingdom. See, there's some people that have all kinds of things have showed up in their lives. It never even occurred unto them to say, you know what? Let's just drop the word for a second and let's focus on our relationship. Let's focus on the money. Let's focus on the children. Let's focus on getting the house. Let's focus on all of these things, and we'll come back to Yah. Right. Let's go to 1 John chapter 2. Those are the people that Yahweh wants. He wants the folks that it didn't even cross their mind. Those people said, I'm going to be about my Father's business. What did Yahshua say to his earthly parents? They said, why you drive us crazy here? We thought you was behind us, leaving the temple. We done went all the way down here and then went back to look for you and found out you're not with us. He said to his earthly parents, how is it that you did not know that I must be about my Father's business? How is it that you didn't know this? Explain to me, how is it that you did not know this? Have you not been with me since my inception? How did you not know this? He said, you should have known what I was going to do. You should have been looking back for me every 5 steps. Because every time something pop up about my daddy's business, I'm going to it. Every time something redirect me, I'm finna turn. I'm going to be about my Father's business at every turn. How is it that you did not know this about me? First John chapter 2, and let's start at verse 15.
Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world. And the world passes away, and the lust thereof. But he that does the will of Elohim abides forever. Little children, it is the last time, and as you have heard that Antichrist shall come, even now are there many Antichrists, whereby we know that it is the last time. They went out from us, but they were not of us. For if they had been of us, they would no doubt have continued with us. But they went out, that they might be made manifest that they were not all of us.
Now, when Saul ended up having this disagreement with one of the other brothers, they said because he went not with us to the work. Saul said, no, we done. Now, the work is serious. When he went not with them to the work, there was a dissension between them that could not be repaired. Paul said he ain't going with me. He has already shown that he ain't about my Father's business. He not going with me. Now, other people had to be divided. All right, let's do it like this. I'll take him and you take this guy over here. Saul said, good, because he not going to ever work with me. He has shown me who he is, and I ain't cut from that cloth. I'm going to work until I can't work no more. There are some that will work until it becomes inconvenient. He said he's not going with me. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 20, but you have an unction from the Holy One, and you know all things. I have not written unto you because you know not the truth, but because you know it, and that no lie is of the truth. Who is a liar but he that denies that Yahshua is the anointed one? He is Antichrist, that denies the Father and the Son. Whosoever denies the Son, the same has not the Father. But he that acknowledges the Son has the Father also. Let that therefore abide in you, which you have heard from the beginning. If that which you have heard from the beginning shall remain in you, you also shall continue in the Son and in the Father. And this is the promise that he has promised us, even eternal life. These things have I written unto you concerning them that seduce you. But the anointing which you have received of him abides in you, and you need not that any man teach you. But as the same anointing teaches you of all things, and is truth, and is no lie, and even as it has taught you, you shall abide in him. And now, little children, abide in him, that when he shall appear, we may have confidence, and not be ashamed before him at his coming. If you know that he is righteous, you know that everyone that does righteousness is born of him.
All right, let's go to Matthew chapter 4. You know, you find that some people are able to maintain their high words for Christ because they stay away from his words. You realize why they're able to keep this haughty look, because they make sure they don't go into none of his words. Matthew chapter 4, let's read verses 1 through 11.
Then was Yahshua led up of the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil.
He was not led up into the wilderness so he can have a vacation. He was not led up into the wilderness so he could have a nice little picnic or any kind of little love fest. He was led up to be tempted of the devil. See, this is your proving ground before you can begin your work. Go ahead.
And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterward and hungered. And when the tempter came to him, he said, If you be the Son of Elohim, command that these stones be made bread. But he answered and said, It is written, Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of Elohim. Then the devil takes him up into the holy city and sets him on a pinnacle of the temple and says unto him, If you be the Son of Elohim, cast yourself down, for it is written, He shall give his angels charge concerning you, and in their hands they shall bear you up, least at any time you dash your foot against a stone.
Now, if you're not paying attention, you need to understand that you're going to have battles from within this word. The whole time, the adversary is saying, It is written. So he's going to put that same spirit into those that test you. They're going to come and debate about, well, the way I see this is. And then you're going to have to reply, It is also written. Go ahead.
Yahshua said unto him, It is written again, You shall not tempt the Adonai your Elohim. Again the devil takes him up into an exceeding high mountain and shows him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them.
So at this point he realizes that he can't trip him up in the word. He first uses the word. He uses the word on multiple levels. He cannot trip him in the word because everywhere he goes, and Yahshua didn't say that ain't what it said. Now he says, It is also said. So now when he can't trip him up in the word, now he's going to get to his desires. Go ahead.
And says unto him, All these things will I give you, if you'll fall down and worship me. Then says Yahshua unto him, Get you hence, Satan, for it is written, You shall worship the Adonai your Elohim, and him only shall you serve.
He still answers from within the word. But the way the adversary was coming was according to his needs and desires. Go ahead, brother, you finish that?
Then the devil leaves him, and behold, angels came and ministered unto him.
Okay, so if the adversary, the devil, dealt with him according to his desires. Now, you have to think. Now, if you want a family, Lucifer will give you a family. He said, all of this is given unto me, and I give it to whom I will. It is in his power. All right, so now what he wants to know, what do you want? You want a family? He'll give you a family. You want a house? Lucifer will give you a house. People will say, I don't worship Lucifer. We don't see that if Lucifer gives you something and you worship the thing, you are indeed worshiping him through the gift that he gave you. We oftentimes mix our private personal works and attach them unto Yahweh. Although they were performed in our place and in our own way, we still account them unto him, although the only one who profits from it is us. Let's go to Matthew chapter 10. Yahweh is already stated, Yahshua is already stated, if it does not bring forth fruit, it must be done away with. And he has described us as being a part of that tree. When there's things that happens to that tree for it to become fruitful. See, there's one part where if it's not fruitful, he cut it down. But if it is fruitful, then he prunes it that it becomes more fruitful. Wait a minute. What is pruning? So it's fruitful. So he's going to cut off a piece.
We said, look, I don't want nothing cut off from me. What are you talking about? I don't want to lose nothing. I don't want to share nothing. I don't want nothing.
He said, no. I am going to prune you that you become more fruitful. I see your fruit. He's not cutting away because you're not fruitful. He starts cutting away that you may be more fruitful. But you need to understand the difference between the cut. Because if you're not fruitful at all, you're being cut off to die. If you're fruitful, you're being cut a portion so that you can become more fruitful. All right. Matthew chapter 10, let's start at verse 34.
Think not that I come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword.
This is the most common misconception about Christ. This is his words. So automatically, people who say we love Christ,
So, you know what? We should have just peace and love all our lives, every day.
his words don't say that. Now, why would he not come to bring peace? See, this is the difference between residing at your house and being at his house. See, if his house is a house of prayer, it is also a place of business. Now, how much relaxation do you expect in a place of business? I mean, unless it's a hotel. Go ahead.
For I come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother.
Wait a minute. So he is going to specifically bring some things that's going to cause you to work more. Okay. Go ahead.
And the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a man's foes shall be they of his own household.
Uh-huh.
He
Wait
that-
a minute. The same people that you work to feed, clothe, and nourish, they're going to be against you? That goes against what they said God is love. Because see, they're seeking for relaxation. You want to know who clocking in. Now, I got your paradise, but it ain't paradise time. Who clocking in? He don't need a bunch of people staring at him saying, holy, holy, holy all day. He got beasts that sit amongst the throne that say that. What do he need you to do that for? To say a bunch of sayings, oh, Abba Yah, oh, we are more than conquerors. Oh, we don't need that. Go ahead.
He that loves father or mother more than me is not worthy of me.
Some of people already lost their salvation right there. See, to make sure that they still love Christ, they refuse to read this. See, because, you know, mama at shush, too. So you can't read this at the shush. and mama there, and then you say, whoever loved mama. Wait a minute, now you don't upset mama. And she's sitting right there down at the front in the shush.
What do you mean, whoever love mom? Well, nobody love them. Everybody better love mom.
Okay. Go ahead.
And he that loves son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me.
Uh-huh.
And he that takes not his burdens and follows after me is not worthy of me.
Uh-huh.
He that finds his life shall lose it, and he that loses his life for my sake shall find it.
Now, what we're going to do is display that in a way that we seem glorious, or that it seems like we're taking the high road when we come off the labor trail. See? There's a way that paganism is made to look like that person's deep. Like, I went to a person's house, and we ended up talking about, you know, sun worship and things like that. And this person was from South America. And they said, I talked about, this Sunday, worshiping on the sun, worshiping the sun on its day. And then they admitted, I never really looked at it. But in our culture, we get up every morning before the sun comes up. And we go outside. And we're stretching, we're kneeling, we're doing, therapeutic things. And then the sun comes up. Once the sun comes up, we can go back inside. Now, if you don't know no better, you think that person is so spiritual. You out hitting, tapping your finger. Oh, you think this is feng shui. They worshiping the sun right in front of your sight, and you have no idea. You thinking,
Well, they like to get up in the morning and do their stretches and do a little yoga.
You watch them worship the sun right in front of you, but because of how it is displayed, you don't even recognize what's happening. Right. Go ahead.
He that receives you receive me, and he that receives me receives him that sent me. He that receives a prophet in the name of a prophet shall receive a prophet's reward. And he that receives a righteous man in the name of a righteous man shall receive a righteous man's reward. And whosoever shall give to drink unto one of these little ones a cup of cold water only in the name of a disciple, verily I say unto you, he shall in no wise lose his reward.
All right, let's go to Luke chapter 9. And on this one, I want to read verses 18 through 27. Luke chapter 9. See, whether the people knew what was happening or not, Yeshua was working. This is why the disciples were not committing a sin in picking up that corn on the Sabbath. Why? Because they were operating as priests. Priests work on the Sabbath and are held blameless. See, while you thinking he walking around the earth in a love fest, he working. He got his daddy uniform on, and you don't understand what's going on. Luke chapter 9 and start at verse 18.
And it came to pass, as he was alone, praying, his disciples were with him. And he asked them, saying, Whom say people that I am? They answering said, Johannes the Baptist, but some say Elias, and others say that one of the old prophets is risen again. He said unto them, But whom say you that I am? Cephas answering said, The anointed one of Elohim. And he straitly charged them and commanded them to tell no man that thing, saying, The Son of Man must suffer many things, and be rejected of the elders and chief priests and scribes, and be slain, and be raised the third day. And he said to them all, If any man will come after me, let him deny himself, and take up his burdens daily, and follow me. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it, but whosoever will lose his life for my sake, the same shall save it.
All right. So then he wants to see, what are you going to do? What will it take for you to turn in your work apron and say, you know what, I'm done working? Go ahead.
For what is a man advantaged, if he gain the whole world and lose himself, or be cast away? For whosoever shall be ashamed of me and of my words, of him shall the Son of Man be ashamed, when he shall come in his own glory, and in his Father's, and of the holy angels.
Now, we're not ashamed originally, but once we have some new changes in our life, once we start getting around new people, now all of a sudden we're a little shamed when it comes down to our relationship with Yeshua. So now we got to downplay it to make this heathen feel happy. Go ahead.
But I tell you of a truth, there be some standing here, which shall not taste of death till they see the kingdom of Elohim.
Now, if we were all powerful, would we choose a path that contained adversities? Would we not choose the path of least resistance for us and our family? We must remember that he is not suffering for anything that he had done wrong. So the suffering has a purpose that cannot be understood in fleshly understanding. Let's go to Acts chapter 9. See, if you don't take into account that Christ is working, a whole lot of this is missed. So much, in fact, that even being born a special way, he still had to become 30 so that he was old enough for the Spirit to even reside in him for him to be able to perform the service. So Yahweh had to work 30 years before the time that he needed him. Now, we understand this if we were talking about some money.
All right, now you put this in here, you're going to get a 10% yield. You need to hold this for 30 years in this account. You are going to receive dividends quarterly.
Oh, we understand that. But see, when the anointing has been invested in you and it is waiting for that anointing to mature, the whole time we having a problem, not knowing that he said, you can't take that out yet. Why? It got a little bit longer that anointing needs to sit in there before it matures, and then we can let it out amongst the world, but not yet. The whole time, we think Yahweh done forgot about us. Your anointing ain't matured yet. With all this that was in him, it can't come out yet. Once it was time to come out, boom, let's go. Now it's time for him to go get that baptism. Now it's time to start working. He had plenty of rest. He said, look, I'm done resting. I had to rest waiting on this time. Now it's time to clock in. He ain't take damn day off. Go ahead, Bree.
And Saul, yet breathing out threatenings and slaughter against the disciples of the Adonai, went on to the high priest, and desired of him letters to Damascus to the synagogues, that if he found any of this way, whether they were men or women, he might bring them bound on to Jerusalem. And as he journeyed, he came near Damascus, and suddenly there shined round about him a light from heaven. And he fell to the earth, and heard a voice saying unto him, Saul, Saul, why persecute you me? And he said, Who are you, Adonai? And the Adonai said, I'm Yahshua, whom you persecute. It is hard for you to kick against the pricks.
Uh-huh.
And he, trembling and astonished, said, Adonai, what will you have me to do? And the Adonai said unto him, Arise and go into the city, and it shall be told you what you must do.
Right. Is that the question that we're going to ask? He first believed that he was right in everything that he was doing. He has now come to the understanding that he has been wrong and that he has been persecuting people wrongfully. He said, all right, what you want me to do? I thought I was right. But now I realize that I wasn't. What do you want me to do? You know, if this was us, it would have been about 4 extra chapters. Because, you know, these are the chapters where we try to explain where we really went wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, see, what happened, first of all now, what I was supposed to do, I didn't know that, first of all, I ain't even need nobody even tell me who them people, I don't supposed to know that was you. And I ain't do that no how.
So now you got extra chapters here before we get convinced that we have been persecuting him. So what you see here in one verse, go ahead and add a few chapters if it was us. Because he got to now convince us of what we did. Go ahead.
And the man which journeyed with him stood speechless, hearing a voice, but seeing no man. And Saul arose from the earth, and when his eyes were opened, he saw no man. But they led him by the hand and brought him into Damascus.
Now understand, Saul is like a spiritual bounty hunter. He requested letters. What are letters? he basically has a warrant for anybody who worships Yahshua. And they're going to torture these people if they catch them. So a spiritual bounty hunter who has done all manner of physical things to other people now has no sight. He's vulnerable. So wait a minute. The first thing that Yahshua does when he calls you is make you vulnerable. That ain't what we want. No. We want to stand in all our strength 24 hours a day. The very first thing he does is make him vulnerable. He can't see. His power is taken. Go ahead.
And he was 3 days without sight, and neither did eat nor drink. And there was a certain disciple at Damascus named Ananias, and to him said the Adonai in a vision, Ananias? And he said, Behold, I'm here, Adonai. And the Adonai said unto him, Arise and go into the street which is called Straight, and inquire in the house of Yehudis for one called Saul of Tarsus. For behold, he prays. And he has seen in a vision a man named Ananias coming in and putting his hand on him that he might receive his sight. Then Ananias answered, Adonai, I have heard by many of this man how much evil he has done to your saints at Jerusalem.
Wait a minute. We don't like him. We don't want you to bring him into the fold. Don't bring him into this flock. You know how much evil he has done? What say Yahweh? Go ahead.
And here he has authority from the chief priest to bind all that call on your name.
He got that letter. He got that warrant. Go ahead.
But the Adonai said unto him, Go your way.
Hey, follow your instructions. Follow your instructions. Yeah, but this is going to disrupt our peace. With this man, we're going to be shaken up. Don't do this. Go ahead.
Go your way, for he's a chosen vessel unto me, and to bear my name before the Gentiles and kings and the children of Israel. For I will show him how great things he must suffer for my name's sake.
Now, we're going to have to get back to these great things that he must suffer. Because if you don't understand the duality of the purpose there, you're going to think something outside of what Yahweh is doing. Go ahead.
Ananias went his way and entered into the house, and putting his hands on him said, Brother Saul, the Adonai, even Yahshua, that appeared unto you in the way as you cameth, has sent me, that you might receive your sight and be filled with the Holy Spirit.
Now, don't think it ain't crossed his mind why that man can't see. Why you better be lucky I'm full of the anointing. You better be lucky that spirit on a brother. Because I'm trying to told you. Right now, while you can't see, why, you know how many lumps I can put on that head? You understand something? You better be lucky. Okay. But he follows his instructions even though he does not want to. Anybody who clocks in and does a job, at some point, you're going to be asked to do something that you don't want to do. If you don't understand that it's a job and you think it's all about your pleasure, you think you have the right to deny. It is all about how you look at it. If you don't understand, you think you have the right. He understands that he's working. Someone over me gave me an order. Okay. Go ahead.
And immediately there fell from his eyes as it had been scales. And he received sight forthwith, and arose, and was baptized. When he had received meat, he was strengthened. Then was Saul certain days with the disciples which were at Damascus. And straightway he preached Yahshua in the synagogues, that he is the Son of Elohim. But all that heard him were amazed, and said, Is not this he that destroyed them which called on this name in Jerusalem, and came here for that intent?
Right. Now, what they going to say about you in your past? Because you know, when you get a new direction, everybody love to bring up what you did before. Go ahead.
That he might bring them bound onto the chief priests. But Saul increased the more in strength and confounded the Yehudis which dwelt at Damascus, proving that this is very Mashiach. And after that many days were fulfilled, the Yehudim took counsel to kill him. But their laying await was known of Saul, and they watched the gates day and night to kill him.
Now, would you look at this and say, first of all, you know, Yeshua has chosen this man. He's allowed him to come into this fold, and look at the turmoil that has happened because he has allowed this person to come in. Now, other people want to kill him. We are now in the midst of this trouble. Maybe Yeshua made a mistake. Just maybe. I mean, you know, Yeshua was born of regular parents, so maybe it was the earthly part of him, and he just chose the wrong man. Because there's turmoil connected to his choice. So maybe he made the wrong decision. Just maybe. Go ahead.
Then the disciples took him by night and let him down by the wall in a basket. And when Saul was come to Jerusalem, he essayed to join himself to the disciples, but they were all afraid of him and believed not that he was a disciple.
They did not believe he was a disciple. They was afraid of him. Go ahead.
But Barnabas took him and brought him to the apostles and declared unto them how he had seen the Adonai in the way, and that he had spoken to him, and how he had preached boldly at Damascus in the name of Yahshua. And he was with them coming in and going out at Jerusalem. And he spake boldly in the name of the Adonai Yahshua, and disputed against the Grecians, but they went about to slay him. Which when the brethren knew, they brought him down to Caesarea, and sent him forth to Tarshish. Then had the churches rest throughout all Judea and Galilee and Samaria, and were edified, and walking in the fear of the Adonai and in the comfort of the Holy Spirit were multiplied.
Now, if we go back to the point of verse 16, for I will show him how great things he must suffer for my name's sake. You have to understand the reason for the suffering. Now, this is where purpose and payment crosses paths. The suffering that Saul has to endure is for Yeshua's name, not particularly because he did wrong in the past. Simultaneously, he will be making atonement for his past while also suffering for Yeshua's namesake. The job had suffering in its description. So whoever had the job was going to suffer doing it. Wouldn't it make sense to pick a man who is committed to finishing the difficult job? If the person sees themselves as already righteous, when the job gets difficult, they will disappear. It is for this reason that Yahweh wants laborers who are going to be fully committed. Brother, go to the next graphic, and I want you to read the definition of hirely.
From G3411, Mistotus. From G3409, a wage worker, good or bad. Hired servant, hireling.
Now, good or bad, a wage worker. Now, in certain situation, there's a work model where you're a part owner, independent contractor, you have a stake in the overall scheme of the job. Whereas a wage worker is just an individual who is paid to do a job. They have no spiritual connection to the company. Understand the difference. Let's go to John chapter 10, and I want you to start that at verse 1.
You know, Elder, you're talking about wage workers. We were talking about this last week, the band at the church. Most of those are wage workers. They got no connection to that church.
None whatsoever. In a Sunday church, the band, the drummer, the piano player, they are not a part of the congregation. You know that there are people that go there for 20, 30 years and never know that those people don't belong to that church? The band is not a part of the church. Their job is to provide emotional support through music. They're hirelings. Okay, go ahead.
Yohanan chapter 10 and verse 1. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that enters not by the door into the sheepfold, but climbs up some other way, the same is a thief and a robber. But he that enters in by the door is the shepherd of the sheep. To him the porter opens, and the sheep hears his voice, and he calls his own sheep by name, and leads them out. And when he puts forth his own sheep, he goes before them, and the sheep follow him, for they know his voice.
Right. Do you know your Father's voice? If you heard the word, would you be able to say, that is not of my Father, Yahweh? Go ahead.
You know, in the situation of the shepherd, there's so many stages before you can even get to the sheep. Because you got the porter, which is the man standing at the door. The porter got to know you before you can even come in. And a stranger will they not follow, but will flee from him, for they know not the voice of strangers.
So that means that to get to the sheep, somebody had to pretend to be one of the sheep. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Go ahead.
This parable spake Yahshua unto them, but they understood not what things they were which he spake unto them. Then said Yahshua unto them again, Verily, verily, I say unto you, I am the door of the sheep. All that ever came before me are thieves and robbers, but the sheep did not hear them.
He says, I am the door to the sheep. What do you think the baptism is? But people get baptized in the name of Jesus, Christos, how to do this, or whatever this is, and then they think it's just as good. Nah. No, you fooling yourself. You got baptized in the wrong name. You fooling yourself. He says, I am the door. What we're going to do is come through the back door. Go ahead.
I am the door. By me, if any man enter in, he shall be saved, and shall go in and out, and find pasture. The thief comes not, but for to steal and to kill, and to destroy. I am come that they might have life, that they might have it more abundantly. I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd gives his life for the sheep. But he that is an hireling, and not the shepherd, whose own the sheep or not, sees the wolf coming, and leaves the sheep, and flees.
Right. If you're a hireling, if they hired you to work at the 7-Eleven, and them jump out boys came, and they said, you know what it is. And you're a hireling. It's not your place. You know what you say? The hundreds are to the left, and then the 50s, and beside that are the 20s. So if you gonna grab, you should probably start to the left, to the left. All right. So here are the bigger bills. Why? You just hired to do a job. So you got to understand, where do you stand in that situation? Sometimes we'll go and forget that we're hireling. If they hired you to do a job that is not anything that has something to do with you, why are you putting your life in jeopardy for 7-Eleven money? Wait a minute, they got that insurance. They got insurance. They're gonna replace the money that's stuck. I'm not fighting for that. I have no stake in this company. I don't even have stock in it. And you come and rob 7-Eleven. I'm telling you, man, you just made it at 10:59. We close at 11. Boy, you got here just in time, hundreds to the left. But wait a minute. When you have a connection. Now, wait a minute. Now, hold on. This is my daddy's stuff. Hold on, bro. Hey. See, I was already ready. I was looking at you in the parking lot. You ain't walk right. So I'm already ready. Go ahead and look down. I already got one at you. Now, what we going to do? See, when it come down to, no, this part of what I am about, no. No, I ain't fleeing because the wolf came in. No, you're going to have to show me. Go ahead.
Elder, my mind just kind of goes places sometimes. Yeshua says, I am the door in verse 9, right?
Uh-huh.
But then in verse 3, he says, to him the porter opens. So
Uh-huh.
that means you just can't go to the door and open the door if Yeshua the door. Somebody else got to open the door and lead you that direction.
Right.
But everybody feel like they can just go do this on
They
their
can
own.
go do the whole thing they self. They the porter, they the door, and they the opener. They the person inside the door. So you outside the door, you the door, and inside the door. Right. Go ahead.
And flees, and the wolf catches them and scatters the sheep. The hireling flees because he is an hireling.
He flees because he's a hireling. But the shepherd is going to stand there and fight and give his life if he has to for the sheep. Go ahead.
And cares not for the sheep. I am the good shepherd, and know my sheep, and I am known of mine.
Uh-huh.
As the Father knows me, even so know I the Father, and I lay down my life for the sheep. And other sheep I have, which are not of this fold. Them also I must bring, and they shall hear my voice.
Wait a minute. He says, I have other sheep that you don't know nothing about. I'm going to bring them as well, eventually. But you know, we get used to our working surroundings and no, this only people I want to work with. I don't want to work with, I don't like new people. I don't like change. Go ahead.
You know, just one more thing touching on, and this is what made Dawid the greatest king. Because he cared for sheep.
Right.
Therefore, he would care for the people.
Uh-huh.
And put his life on the line.
Uh-huh. So Yahweh was already training him in other things so that he would have compassion. Go ahead.
And there shall be one fold and one shepherd. Therefore does my Father love me, because I lay down my life, that I might take it again. No man takes it from me, but I lay it down of myself. I have power to lay it down, and I have power to take it again. This commandment have I received of my Father.
All right. Now, what we have to then conclude is how Yahweh deals with a worker who is going to be committed. The one thing then you go back and look at Saul's situation, because he had some things to work off. He says, I'm going to show him what great things he must suffer for my name's sake. But because he has also persecuted people, he's going to understand, I got to keep working. But see, the person who believes, when you get them people that come in the door and they say, I really had it already. I just didn't know the name. First time it rained on their head, they are done. So all you're doing is waiting for the first rain to hit them, and they are out. Yahweh wants to get a committed, fully committed laborer. So let's say you attempted to take a man's life, and the father, whom you didn't know, stopped it from happening. Let's say you attempted to take another life, and the father intervened again. You are now due 2 life sentences. Tell me, when are you done paying off that debt? After 5 years? Or maybe 10 years, are you paid off? Tell me, how does 10 years of work pay off your double life sentence? We are essentially on parole, and while on parole, he allows you to get a family. Now, we want peace for our family. So we want to separate them from our labor. But wait for a second. If you were doing both of your life sentences, would you be able to have that family? So your family and everything that comes into your house must labor to help you pay off the debt of your 2 life sentences that you were paroled from. They exist because of you, and you exist because of the pardon that your Father has given unto you. This seems like a strange thought for us because we are in a generation that lives only for itself. So we're going to pause for a second. Our grandparents were born into sharecropping. They had no options or choices connected to their service. Every male was expected to go out into the field, and every female expected to perform all the duties around the house while they were gone. All errands and household chores were expected to be performed, and dinner must be ready when they all returned from the field. the more bodies around to perform this labor, the better off they were. Nowadays, our time is spent on tablets and computers and surfing the internet. What are we going to do when the devices stop working and we can't call Uber Eats when we get hungry? Let's go to Numbers chapter 8. See, my grandmother was one of 19. Everything had to be done as far as that meal when the men came out of that field. And because they had a connection, they made them sharecroppers. This was the field that they had to work. So the more hands, the faster the work got done, the more profitable the family was. Then we get to today, where they tell us we just need 2.5 kids and a dog. Numbers chapter 8, let's start that at verse 23.
And Yahweh spake unto Moshe, saying, This is it that belongs unto the Levites. From 20 and 5 years old and upward, they shall go in to wait upon the service of the tabernacle of the congregation. And from the age of 50 years, they shall cease waiting upon the service thereof, and shall serve no more, but shall minister with their brethren in the tabernacle of the congregation, to keep the charge, and shall do no service. Thus shall you do unto the Levites, touching their charge.
All right, so there is an age placed on this work. Now, you have from the age up to 50, they shall cease. Now, we have to then understand that your job has to match your ability. You give the aged men and the women the job of wiping the tables. If you're 30 years old and all you've done is wipe tables, then there's something wrong with your service. He made the service a way for a reason, so that in your stronger years, you are able to do physical labor. If all you have to your account is that you wipe tables, what you did was took a job from a woman or took a job from an older man. You were supposed to be doing something else. Let's go to 1 Chronicles chapter 23. But you have to watch how Yahweh does things. When the children of Israel say, you brought our kids out here to die. So Yahweh punished them, killed them off, and let the kids go. When Gibeonites came and said, we be your servants, they lie the truth and made them be servants. So Yahweh has a sense of humor. You come in and instead of doing any manly labor, you decide to wipe tables and then put all your energy on your house. Yahweh gonna make sure that you be wiping tables for the rest of your life. Now you're gonna be doing all her labor. You will come home, your whole house gonna be nasty. Well, no, go on, clean the table. That what you wanted? Ain't that what you wanted? I left the table nasty for you. Go on, clean that table. Now, Yahweh has a sense of humor. Understand that about your father. 1 Chronicles chapter 23, let's start that at verse 24.
These are the sons of Levi after the house of their fathers, even the chief of the fathers, as they were counted by number of names and by their polls, that did the work for the service of the house of Yahweh, from the age of 20 years and upward. For Dawid said,
Wait a minute. We quick to talk about what all we can do. Well, I'm this age. I should be driving. I should be doing this. I should be doing that. All right, pick up the shovel. What the hell you doing with that rag in your hand? Thought you told me you was a man. That should be for the little boys, the old men, and the old women. What in the hell you got that rag for? You said you're a man. Pick up that shovel. We got man work to do.
No, I want to wipe off the screens.
Well, go ahead and put that dress on there. He's got a certain time limit for the heavy work. So are you trying to pass the heavy work time doing light work? So what you going to do when it's time to do light work? When now it's time for you to sit down and advise, guess what? You don't have any knowledge to advise because you didn't do any work. How are you going to advise individuals? You think they need advising on wiping the table? You think they need help with that? They need somebody to sit down and direct. You need to wax on, Daniel-son. Oh, okay. Go ahead.
For Dawid said, Yahweh Elohim of Israel has given rest unto his people, that they may dwell in Jerusalem forever. And also unto the Levites, they shall no more carry the tabernacle, nor any vessels of it for the service thereof. For by the last words of Dawid, the Levites were numbered from 20 years old and above.
Wait a minute. Since the work got less, he dropped the age. Y'all not moving the tabernacle. When you have to deconstruct something, understand, when they moving this tabernacle, it's got to come all the way down. Let's take this whole building down. Let's move it to wherever he goes. Once it stops, we rebuild it again. He said, all right, well, we can get younger fellas now. Because that was man labor. Okay. But he's still expecting a certain amount of labor once we get to a certain point. We still want to do kid labor, but proclaim how grown we are. Go ahead.
Because their office was to wait on the sons of Aaron for the service of the house of Yah, in the courts and in the chambers and in the purifying of all holy things, and the work of the service of the house of Elohim, both for the showbread and for the fine flour for meat offering, and for the unleavened cakes, and for that which is baked in the pan, and for that which is fried, and for all manner of measure and size, and to stand every morning to thank and praise Yahweh, and likewise at even, and to offer all burnt sacrifices unto Yah in the Shabbats, in the new moons, and on the set feasts, by number according to the order commanded unto them, continually before Yah, and that they should keep the charge of the tabernacle of the congregation, and the charge of the holy place, and the charge of the sons of Aaron their brethren, in the service of the house of Yah.
All right, let's go to Exodus chapter 30. See, Lucifer didn't require any work, which is probably why we never hear anything about laboring. All he said is, if you bow down, I'll give you all that you desire. So, we want that path of least resistance. So we want to call out Yahweh's name, but we really want a Lucifer payout plan. Ain't that worse than clocking in at Coca-Cola, but wanting Pepsi benefits? Exodus chapter 30. And let's read verses 11 through 16.
And Yahweh spake unto Moshe, saying, When you taketh the sum of the children of Israel after their number, then shall they give every man a ransom for his soul unto Yah. When you numbered them, that there be no plague among them, when you numbered them, this they shall give. Every one that passes among them that are numbered half a shekel after the shekel of the sanctuary. A shekel is 20 gerahs.
All right, so there's a certain amount they need to pay. Go ahead.
And half shekel shall be the offering of Yah. Every one that passes among them that are numbered from 20 years old and above.
Wait a minute. He requiring you at 20 and above. No. It's time to stand as a man. No. You're not going to be able to stand behind somebody else's labor. You're not going to be able to stand behind somebody else's position. No. You have to stand as your own man and your own woman. Stand and give an account for yourself. Go ahead.
To give an offering unto Yah. The rich shall not give more,
Uh-huh.
and the poor shall not give less than half a shekel, when they give an offering unto Yah to make an atonement for your souls. And you shall take the atonement money of the children of Israel, and shall appoint it for the service of the tabernacle of the congregation.
Wait a minute. So then your money is then used to help take care of the house. Wait a minute. It is then time, as you are an adult, it is time for you to take responsibility in the upkeep of the tabernacle. That's not a child's responsibility. That's a grown-up's responsibility. But see, you have people who want to take care of their own tabernacle, but not deal with Yahweh's. He says if you're an adult, it's time for you to do what you're supposed to do for the upkeep of the tabernacle. Go ahead.
That it may be a memorial unto the children of Israel before Yah, to make an atonement for your souls.
All right, let's go to Exodus chapter 32. Start that at verse 1, and we're going to jump around a little bit.
And when the people saw that Moshe delayed to come down out of the mount, the people gathered themselves together unto Aaron, and said unto him, Up, make us gods, which shall go before us. For as for this Moshe, the man that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we know not what is become of him. And Aaron said unto them, Break off the golden earrings which are in the ears of your wives, of your sons, and of your daughters, and bring them unto me. And all the people brake off the golden earrings which were in their ears, and brought them unto Aaron. And he received them at their hand, and fashioned it with a graving tool, after he had made it a molten calf. And they said, These be your gods, O Israel, which brought you up out of the land of Egypt. And when Aaron saw it, he built an altar before it. And Aaron made proclamation, and said, Tomorrow is a feast to Yah.
Uh-huh.
And they rose up early on the morrow, and offered burnt offerings, and brought peace offerings, and the people sat down to eat and to drink, and rose up to play.
So they have mixed the Egyptian gods with Yahweh, said, These be your gods. They took the Egyptian god and called it Yahweh. All this they did because there was a pause in between when Moshe came down. He was gone. Sometimes Yahweh wants to create a separation because he wants to know what you're going to do. In the space of time that he is actually working, dealing with Yahweh, this is what they do in his absence. Go ahead.
And Yahweh said unto Moshe, Go get you down, for your people which you've brought up out of the land of Egypt have corrupted themselves.
Now, I need for you to understand, Yahweh waits until the process is finished before he tells him. You do know Yahweh knew at the first point they start taking out the earring and getting ready to make the golden calf. He just keep talking to Moshe. Yeah, another thing. Boy, I tell you, you're going to do so much, blah, 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 blah. All right, now they done. Hey, you better get down there. You could have shown me that earlier. No, I want them to finish. No. He knows the whole process, but he keeps dealing with him. No. Because I know this people. If you stop them before they do it, they're going to claim that ain't what I meant. Now let them finish. I know this people. Let them finish. When they finish, then I'm going to tell you what to do. Go ahead.
They have turned aside quickly out of the way which I commanded them. They have made them a molten calf and worshipped it, and have sacrificed thereunto, and said, These be your gods, O Israel.
Wait a minute. He's saying everything that they done. So Yahweh is watching. Go ahead.
Which have brought you up out of the land of Egypt. And Yahweh said unto Moshe, I have seen this people, and behold, it is a stiff-necked people. Now therefore, let me alone, that my wrath may wax hot against them, and that I may consume them, and will make of you a great nation.
Right. Let me just kill off these people, and I want to make 12 tribes of Moses. I think that sounds pretty good. Just 12 tribes of Moses. I'll go ahead and start over, but with you. Go ahead.
And Moshe besought Yahweh his Elohim, and said, Yahweh, why does your wrath wax hot against your people, which you have brought forth out of the land of Egypt, with great power and with a mighty hand?
Pause. If you are in a house and you agree with the people who fall back into perdition, who's left to stand in the breach for the family? You know, he's only able to stand because he's not with them. If he goes with them, he can't stand in the breach for them. This is where togetherness is going to work against us. And we don't get that. What we want is togetherness and peace in our household, in our workplace. We want all of that. Let me tell you something. If he agrees with them, they all dead. Somebody has to be there to stand in the breach. Go ahead.
Wherefore should the Egyptians speak and say, for mischief did he bring them out, to slay them in the mountains, and to consume them from the face of the earth. Turn from your fierce wrath, and repent of this evil against your people. Remember Abraham, Esaac, and Israel, your servants, to whom you sweareth by your own self, and said unto them, I'll multiply your seed as the stars of heaven, and all this land that I have spoken of will I give unto your seed, and they shall inherit it forever. And Yahweh repented of the evil which he thought to do unto his people.
Yahweh repented of the evil. Go ahead.
And Moshe turned and went down from the mount, and the 2 tables of the testimony were in his hand. The tables were written on both their sides, on the one side and on the other were they written. And the tables were the work of Elohim, and the writing was the writing of Elohim, graven upon the tables.
So he has an actual holy instrument of Yah written by Yah. This worth a $1 kajillion right here. What he got in his hand? See, these Gentiles will tell you, we found a cup that Jesus Christos drunk out of. They'll sell that for $10 million. Now here he has a actual holy relic, as they say. This kind of stuff that the Indiana Jones movies was made of. Go ahead.
And when Yahshua heard the noise of the people as they shouted, he said unto Moshe, there's a noise of war in the camp. And he said, it is not the voice of them that shout for mastery, neither is it the voice of them that cry for being overcome. But the noise of them that sing do I hear. And it came to pass, as soon as he came near unto the camp, that he saw the calf and the dancing. And Moshe's anger waxed hot, and he cast the tables out of his hands and brake them beneath the mount.
Wait a minute. This holy anger. How do you see this? People say, oh my God, he done lost it. He done went nuclear. No, Yahweh put his anger on Moshe. You're my representative. Now I need you to go act a fool for me. Show them how angry I am. Go ahead.
And he took the calf which they had made, and burned it in the fire, and ground it to powder, and strawed it upon the water, and made the children of Israel drink of it. And Moshe said unto Aaron, what did this people unto you, that you have brought so great a sin upon them? And Aaron said, let not the anger of my master wax hot. You know the people, that they're set on mischief.
You know the people, they are set on mischief. Jump to verse 26.
Then Moshe stood in the gate of the camp and said, who is on Yah's side? Let him come unto me. And all the sons of Levi gathered themselves together unto him.
All the sons of Levi gathered themselves. Here, the priests are chosen. So who's going to stand? Who's going to stand on his side? Go ahead.
And he said unto them, thus says Yahweh Elohim of Israel, put every man his sword by his side, and go in and out from gate to gate throughout the camp, and slay every man his brother, and every man his companion, and every man his neighbor. And the children of Levi did according to the word of Moshe. And there fell of the people that day about 3,000 men.
Wait a minute. They were sacrificing to a beast. Atonement got to be made for that. Go ahead.
For Moshe had said, consecrate yourselves today to Yahweh, even every man upon his son and upon his brother, that he may bestow upon you a blessing this day. And it came to pass on the morrow that Moshe said unto the people, ye have sinned a great sin. And now I'll go up unto Yah. Peradventure, I shall make an atonement for your sin.
Wait a minute. I need to go and present to him what was done here, that atonement might be made for you. Wait a minute. The blood of the beast was brought to the altar to make atonement. He said, who is on Yahweh's side? They shed the blood of the people. Now Moshe got to appear before the throne to make an atonement. The whole order was set up. We just didn't understand what was going on. Let's go to Leviticus chapter 5. See, just because you don't understand what's happening doesn't mean it's not valid because you don't understand. See, that's our own arrogance. If we don't understand it, then it shouldn't be done. Go ahead, priest.
You know, we always look at the Passover coming out of Egypt. That was another Passover because, like you say, they just made the Passover sacrifice, but now I got to go do the atonement. And you say people look at the Passover as the big deal. Okay, it was passed over, but was it atoned for?
Right. Then we want to know why we got two Passovers. You know there's not any other holy day that has a do-over? Oh, okay. All right, man. Leviticus chapter 5, let's read verses 1 through 10.
And if a soul sin and hear the voice of swearing, and is a witness, whether he has seen or known of it, if he do not utter it, then he shall bear his lawlessness.
Right. We walk around with other people's lawlessness. You know, I don't want to say nothing. I just, you know what, I don't want to be in no trouble. I want to keep the peace. Right. And you carrying somebody else's sin. Boy, we swear. I don't understand what book we be reading. I don't understand. What book are you reading? We think if, I'm going to hold this in, I'm going to be peaceful, and then that way I maintain a good relationship with my friend, and then I maintain a good relationship with y'all, and everything's going to go good with me. You ain't reading your book. You might maintain a good relationship with your friend, but you and your father going to have a problem. You're making an enemy out of the wrong enemy. Now you have to ask yourself, did I sacrifice my relationship with my God for my friend? And then later on down the line, your friend separate from you anyway. Now you done separated from your God and your friend separated from you. Boy, you going to feel extra slow. Go ahead.
Or if a soul touch any unclean thing, whether it be a carcass of an unclean beast, or a carcass of an unclean cattle, or the carcass of unclean creeping things, and if it be hidden from him, he also shall be unclean and guilty. Or if he touch the uncleanness of man, whatsoever uncleanness it be, that a man shall be defiled withal, and it be hid from him, when he knows of it, then he shall be guilty. Or if a soul swear, pronouncing with his lips to do evil, or to do good, whatsoever it be that a man shall pronounce with an oath, and it be hid from him, when he knows of it, then he shall be guilty in one of these. And it shall be, when he shall be guilty in one of these things, that he shall confess that he has sinned in that thing.
Step 1. Go ahead.
And he shall bring his trespass offering unto Yah for his sin which he has sinned.
Step 2.
A female from the flock, a lamb or a kid of the goats for a sin offering, and the priest shall make an atonement for him concerning his sin.
Step 3.
And if he be not able to bring a lamb, then he shall bring for his trespass which he has committed 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons unto the Yahweh, one for a sin offering and the other for a burnt offering.
Step 3A. Go ahead.
And he shall bring them unto the priest, who shall offer that which is for the sin offering first, and wring off his head from his neck, but shall not divide it asunder. And he shall sprinkle of the blood of the sin offering upon the side of the altar, and the rest of the blood shall be wrung out at the bottom of the altar. It is a sin offering.
Step 4.
And he shall offer the second for burnt offering, according to the manner, and the priest shall make an atonement for him for his sin which he has sinned, and it shall be forgiven him.
Now we get to forgiveness. Folks want forgiveness immediately.
Well, if you're a man of God, you should forgive me.
Wait, we got a few steps before we get to forgiving. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What book you reading? What book you reading? We got a few steps. See, this is where we cast aside what we know and go with what we feel. I want you to read a few definitions for me, brother. Go to the next graphic, and I want you to read the definition of atonement.
From H3722, kafar, to cover, purge, make an atonement, make reconciliation, cover over with pitch, to cover over, atone for sin, make atonement for.
So to cover and to make reconciliation is atonement. Okay? I want you to go, because a lot of times there's some confusion between atonement and punishment. This is the same thing that happens when you deal with Saul, you deal with King Dawid. There's some confusion there. Go to the next graphic. I want you to read the definition for forgiven.
From H5545, Salak, a primitive root to forgive, pardon, spare.
Wait a minute. So it says once atonement was made by the priest, then it shall be forgiven. So it has to be covered, and then it can be pardoned. Oh, okay. Now let's go and read the definition for punish.
From H6485, pakad, a primitive root to visit with friendly or hostile intent. By analogy, to oversee, muster, charge, care for, miss, deposit, etc., appoint, at all, avenge.
Avenge, very good word. Go ahead.
Bestow, appoint to have the charge, or to give a charge, commit.
All right. Now, Cain was separated from Yahweh, but was allowed to live and physically prosper in the earth. Not only did Yahweh not kill him, but he set a mark upon him so no one else could kill him. What Cain had was no atonement for his sin. The holy days follow in order. They begin with Passover, and each holy day gets you closer to the ultimate redemption. By the end of the holy days, you get to the last set. You must atone, and then you can tabernacle. Tabernacles represent being with him. You are not allowed to do that without first keeping the Passover and making your appearance in the beginning. Passover is the only holy day that has a second chance. You have to ask yourself, why is there a second Passover? Now, without keeping the order, sure, you will live, but only to die without atonement, as did Cain. As it is written, some take the Passover unworthily and eat damnation unto themselves, and some are worthy of not taking it and shall be passed over without atoning for their sins. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 33. See, all we need is the right life change, and we've forgotten the covenants that we made. For this reason, this is why Yahweh will say, no. I'm going to make this happen with a covenant. Why? Because covenanted people don't run away from the charge. Hireling is going to run away from the charge. Someone entered into a covenant, they're going to keep working. That's how Yahweh operates. And because we don't understand that, when he makes certain things happen, we're confused. Because we're not looking at it in the respect of his vineyard, of his place of business. See, Yeshua knew as a child, how did you not know that I must be about my Father's business? While everybody else is walking around with their heartstrings attached, talking about love, he working. And let me tell you, when you're not going to get something accomplished. When somebody is in the warehouse They carrying boxes, they working, they moving, and somebody standing in the middle of the aisle. You know, I just love myself some Keisha. Hold on, bro. Hold on, bro. We over here working, and you talking about love. You ain't made this commitment. This is where how we get confused as to what's going on. Ezekiel 33, and let's start that at verse 23.
When the word of Yahweh came unto me, then the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, they that inhabit the waste of the land of Israel speak, saying, Abraham was one, and he inherited the land. But we are many. The land is given us for inheritance. Wherefore say unto them, Thus says the Adonai Elohim, you eat with the blood, and lift up your eyes toward your idols, and shed blood, and shall you possess the land? You stand upon your sword, you work abomination, and you defile everyone his neighbor's wife, and shall you possess the land? Say you thus unto them, Thus says the Adonai Elohim, As I live, surely they that are in the waste shall fall by the sword, and him that is in the open field will I give to the beast to be devoured, and they that be in the forts and in the caves shall die of the pestilence. For I will lay the land most desolate, and the pomp of her strength shall cease, and the mountains of Israel shall be desolate, that none shall pass through. Then shall they know that I am Yah, when I have laid the land most desolate because of all their abominations which they have committed. Also, you son of man, the children of your people still are talking against you by the walls and in the doors of the houses, and speak one to another, every one to his brother, saying, Come, I pray you, and hear what is the word that comes forth from Yah. And they come unto you as the people comes, and they sit before you as my people, and they hear your words, but they will not do them.
Right. They'll come, they'll show up, they got a certificate of attendance, but they ain't never going to do any of it. See, there's some people that come to work and others that came to just say that they showed up. So you learn the difference between the people who are actually working and those that have fast hands. They just keep moving their hands. They're not really doing anything. They just pick up stuff and move it, and then move this back over there. And it looks like they're laboring. It looks like they're doing something, but they have not completed any task. They just got fast hands. They just that's the same hands that trick you on the bus when you're trying to figure out where they put that little dot. They just got fast hands. They haven't done anything. When you look and say, all right, well, show me your labor, they don't have anything. Go ahead.
For with their mouth they show much love, but their heart goes after their covetousness.
This is the part that confuses us, because they speak so nice. Oh, God, they sound so loving. They hug you and they try to squeeze the Twinkie feeling out of you when they hug you. Oh, it seems so loving. The problem is, your Father is not judging on the content of your hug, squeeze. He want to know, where is your fruit? Where is something that he can say you did to help his direction? You can't put no hug on us. A lot of people smiled at me. You can't put that on the altar. Go ahead.
And lo, you are unto them as a very lovely song of one that has a pleasant voice and can play well on an instrument. For they hear your words, but they do them not.
Right.
And when this comes to pass, lo, it will come. Then shall they know that a prophet has been among them.
Right. These things would have to come upon them for them to understand some things. Now, some people claim to have been in the Word their entire lives, but when you ask for their life's work, they have nothing to present. If you have been doing something for your entire life and have nothing to present, there is a problem. This is where the envy sets in. The people who have no work to show then accuse the individuals who have talents to present as being those that exalt themselves. This is the same envy that caused Cain to murder his brother Abel, and then defiantly lie and proclaim, I know not where my brother is. Am I my brother's keeper? Let's go to James chapter 2. We're going to start that at verse 14.
What does it profit, my brethren, though a man say he has faith and have not works? Can faith save him? If a brother or sister be naked and destitute of daily food, and one of you say unto them, Depart in peace, be you warmed and filled, notwithstanding you give them not those things which are needed to the body, what does it profit? Even so faith, if it has not works, is dead, being alone. Yes, a man may say, You have faith, and I have works. Show me your faith without your works, and I'll show you my faith by my works. You believe it that there is one Elohim, you does well. The devils also believe and tremble.
It says, show me this faith that you have. I'm going to show you mine by the things that I have done. Go to the next graphic for me. Now stay on that graphic. Brother, keep reading. He says, I'm going to show you. I'm not going to sit here and give you a bunch of words. What I am is going to do is going to show you the work that we have completed. Go ahead.
But will you know, O vain man, that faith without works is dead? Was not Abraham our father justified by works when he had offered Esaac his son upon the altar?
He wasn't justified because he was running off at the mouth. He wasn't justified because he said some niceties about Yahweh's name. No, he performed something. And normally, when you perform a work, it is in your inconvenience, not in your convenience. So if all of your work was done in your convenience, I can tell you, you ain't got nothing to show. Go ahead.
See how faith wrought with his works, and by works was faith made perfect? And the scripture was fulfilled, which says, Abraham believed Elohim, and was imputed unto him for righteousness. He was called the friend of Elohim. You see then how that by works a man is justified, and not by faith only? Likewise also was not Rahab the harlot justified by works, when she had received the messengers, and had sent them out another way? For as the body without the spirit is dead, so faith without works is dead also.
Right. So if your father comes about your fig tree looking to find fruit, and he finds none thereon, if someone speaks up for you, you got a little bit more time to produce fruit. If not, you're going to be cut down and cast away. And you'll still live like Cain lived. Cain was able to go start a family. He's spiritually dead, though. But he was able to, get a wife and kids, and he can hug his kids, and he squeeze them, he can hug his wife, and he just got to enjoy his life. Until, of course, today he got to go be thrown in that fire. But let us hear the conclusion of this matter. Let's go to 1 Samuel chapter 12. First Samuel chapter 12. And we're going to read verses 1 through 5.
And Samuel said unto all Israel, Behold, I have hearkened unto your voice in all that you said unto me, and have made a king over you. And now, behold, the king walks before you, and I am old and gray-headed, and behold, my sons are with you, and I have walked before you from my childhood unto this day.
Now you have to understand what kind of labor Samuel has put in. Remember, he was called as a child. He was given to the priest as soon as he was weaned. He was turned back over. He has labored his entire life. He didn't wait to get to 20 and then start working. He was working at 20 months. Other people say, I'm going to start working at 20 years. Yeah. Understand who we're reading about right here. We talking about he got toddler works. But Israel still accused him. He still had to go through problems with Israel. Go ahead.
Behold, here I am, witness against me before Yah, and before his anointed. Whose ox have I taken?
He's got to ask this question. And why do so many individuals who become shepherds in Israel have to ask this question? Whose ox have I taken? Go ahead.
Or whose ass have I taken? Or whom have I defrauded? Whom have I oppressed? Or of whose hand have I received any bribe to blind mine eyes therewith? And I'll restore it to you.
Right. Present your cause, and I'll restore it unto you. Go ahead.
And they said, you have not defrauded us, nor oppressed us, neither have you taken aught of any man's hand. And he said unto them, Yahweh is witness against you, and his anointed is witness this day, that you have not found aught in my hand. And they answered, he is witness.
And they answered, he is witness. But you have to consider, we have examples of laboring in that vineyard. Samuel worked, and to the day he couldn't work any longer. I watched my elder. My elder didn't stop working until he couldn't physically use his hands anymore to write his notes. I realized that other people haven't had examples like that. So every time you look up, they at the water cooler. They hadn't done anything, but you know, they still need a drink of water. And you find out that the water cooler is a hangout for those who really don't want to do any labor. Well, he won't be coming to ask you how compassionate you are and how much love. What he's going to check is your timesheet. And if you don't understand that, you're going to be some of those that will be confused at his second coming, because you're going to be looking for a love fest, and he's coming for something else. That's all that we're going to do for today. Remember the Sabbath to keep it holy. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.